Drakenheim and Kesselhelm, going against the waters. This is quite troubling, and we need to discover its origins. Maybe the place that we land should have something to do with our investigation. Whether it be Geldstedt to head north and try to determine how it's traveling, or Emberwood Village to go right to the source, or Altbrook to head north around it to also determine.
I mean, basically, River says, Rudy, it seems like you're concerned most about your family. Like, if you want to investigate Altbrook and Geldstedt, that's one thing. But if you did want to go to Tierhaven to see your family, yes, it would be a detour, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. If you do, you have got. It's not like we express this urgency, but if that is something that is important to you, certainly that is something that we can account for. I would be happy to accompany you. If you wish to do so, I would be happy to accompany you as far as Tierhaven, and then I can teleport you from Tierhaven.
I mean, that's an option.
Yeah, Voltar Bainwood said that this corruption that Gulfseer will take probably a few centuries. I mean, what's a few weeks of travel?
That's not a problem at all.
Hello.
What do you say, boys?
Good morning.
You up for it?
I
Wherever
have some
the road
things to
takes me.
collect from my tower.
We should probably make sure the ducks are all good and everything, just in case. You know how they get out of hand this time of year, Wilhelm?
I mean, without us around, I'm sure the ducks have run amok and caused a fiasco over in Tierhaven.
But it'd be mighty nice to see my family again and just make sure they're okay. I don't often take time away from them like this.
It fell some
You know, the little
snow
ones
during
grow
the
up so
night,
quickly.
but
Certainly.
later today it's supposed to rain, so
What would you like? Would you like to send a message to them?
hopefully it gets on the plus side.
Yeah.
Otherwise it might
Mama's
get
coming home.
slippery driving.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just quick and easy.
I'm gonna write it out.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So River says, all right, in the morning, I will bring us to Altbrook. Probably from Altbrook to that journey from Altbrook down to Tierhaven. We're looking at roughly 180 kilometers. So you probably, at a good clip, you're probably looking at about 6 to 8 journey or so. Perhaps less, depending on that. And from there, you can bounce up to Emberwood Village, and from there to Castle.
All right.
Sounds good.
Okay. Is there anything else in terms of equipment or supplies that you would like to procure from the Academy when you have the opportunity? River does say there'll be more chances for this. Since for myself, I have business to attend to in Emberwood Village, so I will be staying there once we get there. But if there's anything else that you need, now would be an excellent time to make those arrangements.
Well, are we expecting... I mean, I guess we're never expecting trouble, but it finds us anyway. I suppose some more of that ointment that we had could be useful. If there's any more of that we could gather.
The ointment, maybe a potion.
The Aqua Expurgo, if we plan to find masses of.
I mean, especially if we're going to end up in Emberwood Village, I don't want to be within 10 miles of Drakenheim without having some Aqua Expurgo.
Certainly, we can make sure that you're all provided with a dose with the set to bring with you along the way, and some other supplies and provisions as well. I'll make sure that a care packet goes out with you as we go.
And our horses, of course.
Shall we head back to Dransman, talk to the family there, resources and come back.
See what they do.
If you'd like to, if you did want to check out Dransville, that's certainly fine. I suspect that if you want to investigate Castle Hill, and we want to investigate these issues of Dransville further, it might be a bit of a detour to do that. So, if you're not, as much as I would love for us to check that out, if you're not going to follow up with Valentin Monday right away, it might be worthwhile looking at holding on that, because it could, who knows what else that could open up for us. Yes, it is a lingering issue, but
They owe us a favor anyway, so we can hold off on that.
Yes, it
It's
seems
already raining.
the mystery of where Delirium is going, being shipped, has actually become less of a threat than the fact that Delirium is showing up where it should have gone, which I believe is the more pressing matter.
Hallo?
Nei, er det noe ulykke eller noe sånt på veien nå?
Nei.
Det går det greit?
Ja, det var en traktor som kjører på motorveien, det ser ut som.
Ja, nei, bare for hvis det er kø på motorveien, så må jeg dra mye tidligere, for det er jo kø her også.
Ja. Men det regner nå da, pluss at det er mellom 0 og minusgrader.
Ja, nei, det er meldt is og underkjølt regn, fare for det fra klokka 7 i dag til klokka et eller annet i morgen.
Ja.
Det skal regne hele morgen, så masse av snøen som er ute nå kommer til å forsvinne i helgen, det er jeg sikker på.
Ja.
Så for å si sånn, den snøen som kom nå gidder ikke jeg måke vekk, det skal regne vekk igjen i morgen.
Ja. Traktor kjører i 60.
Jeg kjenner at det er jævlig hardt å begynne 9:30 på torsdag, og så skal begynne 8:15 på fredag, liksom. Så da etter hverandre.
Ja.
Så sånn sett så blir det bedre neste uke, for da begynner jeg ikke 9:30.
Nei.
Da begynner jeg 8:30 eller sånt på torsdager.
Ja.
Det er ikke så stor forskjell. Jeg synes det er ganske hardt, liksom, skjønner jeg.
Ja.
Men så merker jeg at jeg vet ikke om jeg orker egentlig å dra på snø i helgen.
Nei. Få se da.
Men ja, det kan jo være jeg orker å ta en tur i morgen, men jeg tror ikke jeg vil ikke på søndag, for søndag må beina hvile, for jeg blir så sliten i beina av Flallabakken før jeg skal jobbe igjen til jul igjen, liksom.
Ja.
Blir det sånn over morgen. Jeg får se, men ikke si noe til det andre venter jeg nå.
Nei. Greit, ha det.
Correct me if I'm wrong in that, but Delirium showing up in places where it hasn't been shipped, and it ought not to be, is of utmost concern, I believe.
River says, I'm confident that the Delirium that is moving out of Dransville is likely going to lands beyond the continent, which is concerning, but it's been doing that for a long time. And while that is something that we absolutely will need to follow up on, especially if what Valdemar Baden suspects is true, that's been a problem that is long in the brewing. And this issue in Castle Hall is a bit of an aberration.
Perhaps if there's one more thing I could request, we were able to focus the lens of that map on Westamar, Illyria, Caspia. But if Delirium is possibly being shipped elsewhere, it might be beneficial that while we're on this trip, we could perhaps use the map to try to scout out beyond and see if there's any other issues.
I assure you that we will be doing everything we can, working with Walter Baker to figure out as much as we can about this place while you are on your mission.
Good. Do you have people across the seas that you can contact if there are problems? I know that you said there were other non-Amethyst Academy, but other Magus guilds. Are they friends? Yeah. I feel reassured. River?
Super confident.
discretion, shall we say that.
I suppose that's good enough.
Yeah, things are different across the seas. The Edicts of Lumen have no power on the other continent, and thus the politics of the far continent, nothing bars spellcasters from the politics of the far continent.
Sounds interesting. Anything else?
Nightmare.
Rudy, do you have your message for your family?
Yes.
Okay.
So I say, on our way back for a visit, hope all is well. Make sure everything is cleaned up. See you soon.
Cool. River cast the spell to send that on. And a short moment passes before she gets the ping of her reply. She says, I sent the message to your husband. Yes. This is what came through. Having a bit of a spot with the kids. Few strange things happen around here. Kids having a bit of a fight. Might be good for you to out.
I haven't been around to keep them in line, so we're there fighting it out. Probably just gotta do the chores in the morning, but boys better head back and I'll straighten them up and make sure everything's going. But you know,
How many children?
I have 10 children.
That seems like a handful.
They are. They, you know, a couple sets of twins, a couple sets of triplets, and all around different ages. And some of them are at different points in their life. Others are just getting to that rebellion stage. So who knows what they've been doing while I've been gone. You know, I'm normally the one to keep an eye on all of them, keep them going, you know, straighten their work and help each other out and really connect with the community. But you never know. When Mom's gone, who knows what the mice will do, right?
No, I do have to say that having been away from home, and I do call Tear Haven home now, being away from home for so long, it warms my heart to know that our next great adventure is going back to sorting out the chores at the old Whitaker place.
Of course, if that doesn't keep going, then the whole place falls apart. You know.
Oh, I know.
So I'm sorry for the detour, boys, but I think we better go with something sorted out.
I'm excited to see the old chimneys of that farmhouse again.
I am so distracted by your bagel theory. I have been so enamored in trying to reach Bruce, but now I figure, why not bring Bruce to me? Fascinating. And I just did. Brent walks off, and he's just like wandering to himself.
Well, I thought he was going to say that he really wanted a bagel, but
I mean, I can use a bagel. I hope he figures out a way to bring it because they're delicious.
Well, says I hope everything's all right with your family. But it's no trouble for us to pass through. After all, we had some weird things happen in Tear Haven once already, and so it is worth checking out things there once again.
Of course, I want to make sure also that if the weird thing has to do with delirium, that we haven't seen a surge of that come back in that area.
yes. And my hope is that we solve the delirium issue, and weird things just means standard weird, like ducks, not scary weird, like
Exactly.
missing farm families.
Brains coming out of people and
Yeah.
happening.
And I mean, for the most part, Bobby, he can handle them. So if he's saying something's up, it's probably something pretty big if kids are fighting. So I'd feel much better being able to check in on myself. But they know I'm coming.
Very well. I go with you.
You spend one last night resting up in the Celestial Nexus Tower before planning the River to set out the next morning. River meets you outside the tower the next day. She has Just a moment. I've only done this a handful of times, this spell, so it's a bit of practice.
It's not a good way to start before you just cast a spell, but
Well, have you ever teleported this far before?
I don't know if have I ever teleported before? I don't think so. I guess in very short distances when Wrath explodes me to a place a few feet away, but that usually gives me a little bit of the butterflies in the tummy, so to speak.
Are you prone to motion sickness?
Yes.
Are you nursing by any chance? None of you pregnant or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm past those days, honey.
And none of you are taking any herbs or other medicines for any sort of chronic conditions that might cause short-term mental disorientation?
No.
No, just, I mean, a bit of salve on my knee every once in a while when it gets a bit achy, but that probably doesn't.
And just so that I'm absolutely certain, none of you suspect that you might actually have come from another dimension.
I mean, as a kid, I had these wild ideas that no.
No.
Probably.
All right.
And we all look at Wrath.
And then I look at Bruce.
And just before we begin, how much metal? There's no metal inside your body, is there?
I don't think so.
I'm just like taking account of all my wounds from the war. I'm like, no. I'm sure.
Like
I'm sure it's all
leftover
come out.
blades or shrapnel.
We just want to avoid any chance of a teleportation mishap. These days, long distance teleportation has been somewhat interfered by the presence of delirium, and so we would hate, if there was like a stray piece of metal somewhere in your body, it's possible that when you rematerialize on the other side of the portal, that it could be repositioned elsewhere in your body, and we would hate to end up inside your heart.
Very unfortunate if that happened.
Acknowledged.
Very, very good. River pulls out a small pouch of delirium dust, and with a gloved hand, she sprinkles it in a circle. Incanting several words, the delirium dust sweeps up into the air into a short whirlwind before spinning around into a flat planar circle before you that bursts open into this
Den Sandakerveien.
this plane reality, a circular opening that on the other side you see the sun rising over another town. Which is, it doesn't stay open very long, so please go.
You've made me nervous.
I walked right through.
Alright.
I also go,
Rule number 98, no matter, and then I walk through.
we're already past you.
Can't hear you.
Each of you can roll a d6.
Oh, gosh. 3.
6.
1.
Oh.
Wilhelm, do you have a gold tooth?
Yep.
So when you come out the other side of the teleporter, your gold tooth, you kind of cough up your gold tooth as it appeared in your stomach.
Oh no. Oh no. Right.
I asked you if you had metal in your body, and you said no.
River, you were as aware of this tooth as I was. I forgot it's new. I'm getting used to it. That probably could have gone worse. I'm glad it didn't. I'm like checking my body. Am I bleeding from anywhere?
Yeah, it could have gone up.
Maybe your tooth. Check your tooth. Is it bleeding?
A little.
Next time you do that,
Yes.
take the tooth out first.
Right. No matter the situation, never lose your cool. Handled it like a champ, I did.
Yeah, just like big instinct.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Now, around you, you're standing within the crumbled ruins of a great university. is a hall of some kind. But all that stands here now is a staircase leading up to an archway that used to have doors on it, obviously. But instead here is you can see that there is a dais that you're now standing on that is ringed in arcane runes. And flanking either side of it are two large cross-armed guardians that look rather similar to the guardian that accompanies River, but are much larger. River says the university was destroyed during the war, but fortunately the teleportation room survived. The teleportation circle
All of
survived.
the lights are flashing.
It was more expensive than the rest of the building, so that was quite fortuitous.
Doesn't seem like they enjoyed
Come along.
the rain.
We should be on our way quickly before anyone gets wind.
Nice
that we're still
quality.
using. She leads you up from the stairs, and you overlook where the university campus is in Altbrook. Altbrook is a small city of tightly woven maze-like streets. And as you step up onto the hill where the campus is built that overlooks the rest of the city, you can see the bridge from which Altbrook takes its name, the Altbrook Bridge, which is a arched causeway that stretches all the way across the Dran River, with two towers in the middle, because the central platform of the causeway can be fully raised up to allow shipping to go further along the Dran River. The red bricks and white plastered buildings of Altbrook are otherwise the city itself, though it still bears the scars of the war, is still a lovely town of rather wealthy and educated individuals who and the place itself is still under the rule of Duke Malkadar Engelhart. As you pass through the streets, there is a bustle of activity as the morning trading and is beginning in earnest.
All right, everybody, blend in.
Oh, I am. We don't have to worry. Is River hiding her appearance? Is she wearing her academy robes? Sort of
River
like...
is not too worried about it. In Altbrook she says Altbrook is not generally the place where you have to worry about concealing your identities as a member of the academy.
Okay.
It's an academy friendly.
I'm sort of following her lead because even under my confidence, I've never truly been to Altbrook. And some of these places are still foreign to me. So I'll play off her.
I've read a little bit about Altbrook. It seems the war has taken its toll on some elements, some of the more grand elements of this city.
She says the only thing to be worried about is there's a bit of an educated rabble that is here in Altbrook. We'll be passing through the square shortly. You'll see what I mean, but pay it no mind. She leads you through the streets down towards the market square of Altbrook, which extends right from the bridge. So Altbrook itself is entirely fans out like a circle from the bridge itself, where there's a great forum essentially that the bridge connects to. And as you come to the forum in a brisk of activity, you start to see that there are placards and slogans that are painted all over many of the buildings, all throughout Altbrook. And there is a resounding theme behind many of them, that words are painted in many places, and one quite prominently shakes out that just says "Freedom Now" for Westamar. Is painted in prominent red letters across one of the streets and buildings across here, and there's a man that's kind of starting to wipe it down, and there's another one that you see being painted almost across the street. You see someone is painting the words "Illyrians get out," and another that says "Caspians not welcome here."
Wow. Seems Altbrook has taken a stance against the other locations around us. Maybe a little more harsh than I'm used to. I know that we have no love for Illyrian military marching into our lands, but to go against the entire people, is there a reason for this, River?
She says, "You'll see as you come around the corner to the square." She says, I've heard about these. There's demonstrations here every morning." And she points out, you can see that there is a large gathering of people that are in the square. And several are gathered up upon what was probably once a gallows platform.
Well,